it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, treasure looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I say to hell
On
with it.
Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Well, it's a beautiful Monday morning to you. Welcome to Core Digest, where we give you every topical issues. I'm your host, Emmanuel Ajay, and I'll be taking you on the flight of Core Digest this morning. And let me start with this quote that says, wherever you go, whatever you say, do not say yes when you mean to say no. Well, it's a special edition of Core Digest this morning, as I've been joined by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, FEMI ADESINA. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well,
Pleasure to be here.
welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, we've been having this rumor of the death of the president and the ill health. Now, what is all this, and how is Mr. President doing in the UK?
Well, I'm glad you used the word rumor. And when it's rumor, it means there's no substance to it. So, no substance. It's just a storm in a teacup. It's even something not worthy of a response. But lest some people be misled by the enormity of that rumor. That's why we bother to respond. Because most times we just shrug our shoulders when rumors come. Because when you begin to respond to rumor begins to also have a life of its own. It begins to develop like flesh and blood, so to speak. But this one, because of the enormity of it, we then had to respond. But Mr. President is fine. He's on holiday. When he was going on holiday, you saw him. He spoke at the airport, and we issued a statement saying he will.
What's wrong with going on vacation?
We still stand by that. And if a man says, I'm going on a holiday, I will resume on this day, why does he need to then begin to speak to you?
You did say in that particular press statement that he's going on a 10-day holiday and a routine medical checkup.
Yes.
Now, what is the current state of Mr. President's health?
Before he left, there was nothing wrong with him. But don't forget that Mr. President is 74. In fact, medical people say the moment you cross 40, you must do your medical checkups at least once a year. So he went on a holiday during which he will do his routine medical checkup. That's what we say.
Now, with the campaign of this present administration about change begins with me, the Buy Naija campaign, why is Mr. President going to the UK for a medical checkup?
You still do not get it. He did not go to UK for medical checkup. He went to UK for a holiday.
Vis-a-vis that he's going...
During that holiday, he would do his
medical checkup.
And before he became president, he had always done his checkups in the UK. Now, there's something called medical history. When a team of doctors or a hospital or some physicians have your medical history, it's better you continue to relate with them so that they just follow up on the history that's already in their possession, rather than starting with fresh set of doctors. Are you saying here
that we don't have capable doctors in the country?
Do you think our doctors also don't go out for medical checkups when necessary? They do. And talking of capable medical doctors, don't forget last year when Mr. President had some issues with his hearing, he was checked by Nigerian physicians. Nigerian physicians treated him. And then when he was going for holiday, it was stated that while on holiday, he will use the opportunity to get a second opinion from physicians outside.
Nigerians are indeed worried about this vacation. When we look at this, about 2 to 3 to the UK. Why at this time?
No, when you say Nigerians are worried, it's so general, and it's not true. Because you have not done a survey. You have not shown me the size of the sample you took and the responses. So you just came with that general statement, Nigerians are worried. No. Maybe a tiny minority which is very vocal.
Are you saying a tiny majority at this time?
A tiny minority
at this
which
time.
is very vocal. Very vocal. I'll tell you that despite all this hula baloo, there are millions and millions and millions of Nigerians who just appreciate and understand with the president, and he has their goodwill. They have not joined the mob that is peddling wicked rumors. So don't just generalize and say Nigeria.
Mr. Adesina, this same tiny minority that you did mention, they are the ones that gave that power of vote to your administration.
That a tiny minority cannot give that power.
But they also gave their own quota.
Let me make my point. A tiny minority could not have given the power, because if it was a tiny minority, he would not win. You can't become president with the votes of a tiny minority. That tiny minority may have contributed to the victory, but it didn't give the victory.
When last did you speak to Mr. President directly?
Directly? Do you think a president is so idle and you just pick your phone and call him? I speak with London every day. Today, because it's morning, I've not called, but I'll call. I call them, they call me. We speak 3-4 times.
So you haven't had any cause to speak to him directly? Is that what you're saying?
If I need to speak with Mr. President, I'll speak with him. But each time I speak with London, I call them or they call me, I just say, how's Mr. President? They say it's fine. I deliberately have not said, give him the phone, let me talk to him, because that would be an expression of disbelief. I don't want to join the mob that believes Mr. President is not well. I know Mr. President is well. I know he's well. He has sent messages to me, I've sent messages to him. So why do I need to say, give me the phone, let me speak with him direct? No, I don't need that. I don't need that to authenticate the fact that Mr. President is well.
Because let me use the word now. Some Nigerians are saying we've been seeing pictures. Now the recent one, the recent one we saw yesterday about the president and the wife, and they are saying, why can't the president do just a Skype video for Nigerians to see that he's tail and party?
Tell me why he must do it. You say why can't? Why must he do it? If a man is on holiday,
he holds a public office.
It doesn't matter. He still has his rights, even though he holds a public office. Unless you are telling me that once a man is president, he loses his rights, which is not true. He has his rights to talk when he wants to talk and to keep quiet when he wants to keep quiet. Once he has told you, I am going to be away till this day, until that day comes, Mr. President has a right to his privacy. He has a right to speak when he wants. He has a right not to speak if he doesn't want to speak. But what that tiny minority has spoken about, what they want is to a president they will lead by the nose, but they will not get.
Are you sure you did that survey to get the tiny minority that you're saying?
Yes.
Tell me more about it.
We know them. Are they not just on social media? They are just on social media.
But it is this same social media that your party did work well on the mindset of Nigerians to get into power.
It's not limited to social media.
Well, you said
about 15 million people voted the president into power. I tell you, a larger number of them don't even know the social media. They don't have access to it. We know a generation that has access to social media and is very active there. A lot of Nigerian voters are not on social media. The market women, the farmers, the people in the villages who all trooped out to elect that president. So we can't then tyrannize over them. They have their rights to. They voted Mr. President. So a tiny minority cannot say, this is what Mr. President must do, and he must do it now because that is what we want. That tiny minority is recognized, is respected, but then they must also respect the rights of the president. That's what we are saying.
Do you believe that the power belongs to the people?
Sure, in a democracy. In a democracy, power belongs to the people. There's no controversy about that.
No controversy about that?
No.
Okay, now, are we likely to see an extension to the 10-day vacation of Mr. President.
But you have not seen it, have you? You are asking.
That is why I'm asking at this time. Are we likely to see?
You are asking me to play God, who can see into the future. I'm here. I make no pretensions to being a futurologist. I don't know what will happen. But Mr. President, while he was living, said, "I'm going to be away till 6 February." That is what I believe, and that is what every good Nigerian should believe. It's only cynics and skeptics who will choose not to believe it.
Now, let's move on straight to other matters now. Now, looking at the war against corruption of this present administration, how far so well?
Yeah, fine. It's a war in progress. You know that the APC particularly campaigned on 3 major planks: securing the country, fighting corruption, and reviving the economy. All those 3 promises are in progress. We know advances that have been made on security. We are far away from where we were in May 2015 when the administration came. We know a lot of advances that have been made. In the war against corruption too, we know the advances that have been made, and we know the limitations which the president himself talked about, because Nigerians are saying we're not saying convictions, but then convictions are not the duty of the executive. It rests with the judiciary. So that is where the limitation is. But the war, is it going on? Yes, it is going on.
One of the major issues is about the SGF, and the Senate are saying we remain resolute on our stand concerning the SGF. What do you have to say concerning this? Because people are saying an allegation of over 270 millionaire. What do you have to say concerning this?
I'm also glad you used the word allegation. Allegation does not constitute indictment. It's an allegation. Now, arising from that allegation, you make recommendations to the president, sack this man. And the president writes you back. He says, 1, it's a 9-man committee, 3 people signed. 2, the SGF was not given an opportunity to defend himself. 3, Roller Vision, the company in question, was also not invited to defend itself. Therefore, the procedure is faulty.
Well, the Senate came to debunk that.
Wait. Therefore, the procedure is faulty. And a lot of people began to say, President has cleared the SGF. If he raises the issue of procedure, does it amount to clearance? Rather, what the president is saying is, follow the procedure. Let the proper procedure be followed. And then I'll do my own part.
Have we seen the reports of the AGF concerning this issue on the SGF?
It's submitted it to the president. So unless the president releases it, you can't see it, because it was not submitted to you. It was submitted to the president.
What do you think might have caused the delay in sending it out?
It's not my duty to think of what may have caused the delay. My duty is to communicate.
But you are the special advisor to the president on media and publicity.
My duty is to communicate whatever the president has taken a decision on. And if he has not taken a decision on it and told me to communicate it, then I don't have to prefer opinions, at least publicly.
So there's nothing suspicious in all what you just said?
Neither. Well, anybody that wants to be suspicious, then will have to justify the suspicion. That's just it.
Well, I still have with me in the studio this morning the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, FEMI ADESINA. We go on this short break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at other intricacies on the war against corruption, vis-a-vis the other insecurity matters in the country at the moment. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
Hello and welcome to Core TV Primetime News Broadcast.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. And Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, our 24-hour news station. Core TV News now live on all Androids.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
Download Core TV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. We're still on the program Call Digest this morning. Like I did say, it's a special edition of Call Digest this morning. I still have my guest in the studio, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, FEMI ADESINA. What would you say as Digest? Some of the opposition party did say that your party is fighting war against corruption selectively.
Well, you just called them opposition party. So you wouldn't expect that they will also be applauding the governing party. They will try to find faults, even if unnecessary. You don't expect them to begin to gallant the ruling party because, one, they were ousted from power after they had boasted that they will hold their power for a minimum of 60 years. After 16 years, they were given a bloody nose and sent out of power. So you wouldn't expect that they will be your best of friends. Well, so when they criticize, it's normal.
When they criticize, it's normal in this time and age. Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
Now,
the opposition, even from the appellation you have used for them already shows what they do. They oppose.
Now we've seen many of allegations. Like you did rightly said. When do we start seeing the convictions in this war against corruption that we've been seeing?
You will not ask me because I don't have an answer. The answer rests.
But you work for the APC.
The answer rests with the judiciary. So nobody can answer that question outside the judiciary.
Now going to the judiciary.
Now, don't forget that there is separation of powers. Executive is distinct from the judiciary, unless you want to begin to interfere with the judiciary, and ideally you should not.
Let's look at the judiciary. The CJN is yet to be confirmed by your administration. Come February 10th, will mark 3 months that Justice Walter Onoge is yet to be confirmed. What is going on? Is there any security report we don't know?
Well, since the Constitution says the CJN can act for 3 months, and it's not yet 3 months, so there's nothing outside the law.
But his name is yet to be sent to the Senate for confirmation.
It doesn't matter. There are accelerated things. If the president sends it, even the terminal date of the acting time is February 9th. Then, if the president even sends it on February 9th, say, kindly accelerate.
So you're saying there's nothing suspicious we should be saying? Because other CJN don't pass through this rigorous process.
No, you forget that Justice Idris Lego Kutigi came in as acting CJN before it was confirmed. So there's nothing strange about Walter Onoge being an acting CJN.
Now, the issue of economic recession is one thing Nigerians are really saying is that the APC, have they fulfilled all campaign promises? The recession is biting hard on Nigerians. What do you have to say concerning this?
Yeah, you mentioned fulfilling all campaign promises. You don't fulfill all campaign promises in 20 months. The mandate is for 48 months, and you pace yourself so that you spread the fulfillment of your promises over the 48-month period. You can't fulfill all promises in 20 months. Anybody expecting that, it's not being realistic. So I just needed to correct that.
Mr. Adesina, you are sounding
a part of your question I've not answered.
Okay.
I just took you up on fulfilling all campaign promises. Now you talked about recession and the economy biting. Yes, you will see that Nigerian economy had been primed for recession. There was no way to avoid it. With the way the economy had been run in previous 4, 5, 6 years, it was primed for recession. Even a former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, had said it, that he warned the former administration that the way you are going, you will run this economy into recession. So that recession became inevitable, inexorable. It's just unfortunate that the APC was the administration.
Well, it's not an excuse for your party to say.
It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's a reality which has been accepted, and the government has been working to reverse that reality. And don't forget that the government itself, the president, the number of times I said the recession will be short-lived, and the World Bank and the IMF have come out this year to say Nigeria will exit recession this year.
How? Tell us more.
But no, America in its history has gone into the economy has gone into recession 46 different times. America. Japan has been in recession in the past 15 years. Japanese economy. So,
but that's additional. But that shouldn't be an excuse for your own party.
If you don't let me
go on.
Then I have not made my point.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is that recession is not the death sentence that people think it is. Recession is not a Armageddon. It's something that will come and which the country will exit from. And we will exit from it.
Well, you can be part of this program by calling us on 0816-481-8001. For those calling outside Nigeria, you add the international short code +234. Now, still back on the same issue of recession. Now, we've seen prices in commodities skyrocketing on a daily basis. The dollar now to a naira is over 500 naira. What do you have to say
you have a penchant for exaggeration. The last I knew, even in the parallel market, was 497.
But when your party came in, it was
over 500.
when your party came in, it was not skyrocketing like that.
Yes. What was the price of oil at that time? What is it?
Is that a yardstick?
Oh, it's a yardstick. When you don't earn foreign exchange, it's natural that your currency will dwindle and diminish in comparison with foreign exchange. How much do we earn? As at 2014, November, December, Nigeria was earning $3.5 billion every month from oil. By 2015, when this administration came, oil prices nosedived to $29 per barrel. How much was Nigeria earning? About $500 million a month. Compare that to $3.5 billion a month. The difference is clear.
What is your party doing to get Nigeria and Nigerians out of recession with the economic policies, monetary policies that your party is doing?
I'm sure you've heard it many times. The government itself, through the finance minister, through the budget and national planning minister, came out to say that recession will be short-lived. They didn't just fold their hands before they came to that conclusion. They were working, and they knew that with the projections, it will be short-lived.
Wait, just a minute. We have a caller, Omali. Omali is calling us from Plateau State. Good morning. Let's have your contributions.
Good morning, sir.
Omali, you are on live. Let's have your contributions, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask a question. My question is that how would we say that the recession is an excuse for the APC?
Can you come again, please? Hello,
Okay,
Omali.
what I'm saying, hello, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay. I said since we've been talking, and it's so unfortunate that the recession we're talking about happens to come up at the time we have a change in the government regarding the political party.
Okay, Omali, I think you've made your point. He's still talking about the recession, the economic recession ravaging the country. You were making...
Yes, I was making a point. Because you said what is being done to get Nigeria out of recession. And I said government was not folding its hands. Among the many things being done is to stimulate the capital sector. As at the last quarter of last year, Nigeria, this government had released 750 billion naira into the capital sector of the economy. And that is the way that will jumpstart the economy, and the productive sector will come alive. There will be more spending money in the hands of Nigeria. So it's one of the things being done. And you will see the result of that within the first, second quarter of this year.
Does the president knows that Nigerians are really suffering?
If you have been listening to his broadcasts, if you have been reading his messages at Delph Maulud, at Christmas, at New Year, then you will know that he knows, because they are all there. October 1 broadcast last year, he said, all my life I have been a salary earner, so I know what it is when salary is not enough. It was in that broadcast. At the New Year message, he said, I know what you people are going through, and I assure you it will not last.
Let's quickly join Said. Said is calling us from Osun State. Good morning, Said. Let's have your contribution.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm very happy saying the special guest online. So my question goes straight. Now, I can express one of the problems we have in Nigeria. I have moved personally to the airport and change the dollar because I want to buy it. But so surprised, because of the changes, the government is claiming that everybody should be well abided. These real exchange are hiding money to change because of the rules. Government is going to blame now. We are going to blame the real change. And this social real change, they go to abroad and they experience it because of go down of the airport, you see people selling dollars, like people selling paper. But go to normal bread, you cannot find $1 from there. Now I have to call Sally once they call this bread and they give a license. Government should work on this. That is number two. We know government is trying its best. But I'm using this medium, appeal to the federal government. We must support for him. Try to near the masses. So-called they are looters. We will know. Even the person you pay cannot do it. Even I personally, if I become a president, so that cannot do it.
Said, I must say thank you very much. You've made your point there. Now, what he's saying there is about some of your policies that you're making. That he says dollar flying left, front, and back. Whether possible is that. Oh, now he did say that your government should try to work to favor the masses. What can you say about that?
That's why the government exists. And this government particularly is a people-centered government. No doubt.
Are you sure what you just said?
No doubt about it. It's a people-centered.
With some of the harsh policies made?
It's so that the future will be easy for them. Whatever policy you consider harsh is to build a better future. It's not meant to just punish the people. Because Yoruba have a saying that when you get circumcised, it is with a lot of pains.
So you are saying Nigerians should pass through the pains at this time?
No pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. It's the truth.
How long would that pain be?
You're asking me to play that.
No, you should be. You should be emphatic here. You should be able to give your facts and figures, right? How long should that pain be?
You're asking me to play God. But one thing is, it is as clear as night follows the day.
Let's quickly join Vincent. Just a moment, Mr. Additional. Just a moment. Let's quickly join Vincent. Vincent is calling us from Kaduna State. Good morning, Vincent. Let's have your contributions, please.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Go on with your comment, please.
In fact, the program we are having concerning this present government, all their program is against the masses. All their program is against the masses because masses are suffering. And this government, they don't know that people are suffering. So it is a problem. Common arena is increased. And you are telling us that we have a program for masses. We have voted them to that power. We are not happy. And how do you think that this is not plan for anybody? They have no any agenda for anybody. Their own is to come and loot whatever they want to loot. And 2019, they will be campaigning using the same money. So this so-called budget is not affecting anybody.
Vincent, I must say thank you very much. You've made your point so that we can have more callers on the show. Well, you're saying that the callers are coming in saying, well, your party with harsh policies.
It's an opinion.
It's an opinion.
No, it's an opinion. We don't begrudge him his opinion. He has a right to it, but that does not make him correct.
Do you see your party coming into power come 2019?
When you talk of your party, you need to recognize that I'm a professional in government. I'm not a member of APC, so to speak, or I believe in the APC. I believe.
So you are not a politician?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Are you sure? With the position you're holding?
I'm a professional in government. But even before I came into government, if you had read the things I wrote, I had sympathy for APC. I still have those sympathies. So now whether APC will win again in 2019 depends on the people. I am not the people. It's the people saw something in the party and voted it in 2015. But I tell you that what I can say is that this administration will succeed and succeed well. And if success is what returns a party into power, then APC will be returned.
Well, we'll see how that success will really transpire. We quickly go on this short commercial break, and when we come back, we're running it off with Mr. FEMI ADESINA, the special advisor to the president on media and publicity. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The federal government's social investment program has begun. The poorest and most vulnerable in the land get 5,000 naira monthly, and phase 1 has started in 9 states of the federation. 200,000 unemployed graduates have been engaged in the N-Power Volunteer Corps, designed to engage 500,000 people. 5.5 million children will be fed regularly in the homegrown school feeding program, which kicked off in 3 states last year, with 9 more to be added this year. And under the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, GEED, thousands of cooperatives, market women, farmers and enterprising youth have been receiving between 10,000 and 100,000 naira soft loans since November 2016. The Social Investment Program has begun. It can only get better. We promise change. Change is here.
Welcome back. I still have with me in the studio this morning the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, FEMI ADESINA. Quick one, let's go to the issue of insecurity in the country, the issue of Boko Haram insurgency, and also the southern Kaduna killing. Many did say before Mr. President traveled, he didn't visit Kaduna to even show a remorse attitude towards the set of people before traveling to abroad.
No, let me pick up the word you use, remorse. Remorse is shown when you have done wrong. So is it government that did anything to anybody to then show remorse? That would not be right. It's not government. Southern Kaduna is more of a communal issue. It's more of a communal issue. But unfortunately, at one end of that communal issue are the indigents, who happen to be predominantly Christians. And at the other end are settlers, who happen to be predominantly Fulani. So it's a communal issue, it's a land issue, which is now taking the toga of a religious issue. It was no religion that was at the bottom of it. Now that the president didn't visit, it's relative. The president decides where he wants to visit. But then, is Southern Kaduna being handled? Yes, it's being handled. Because as we speak, the military is in Southern Kaduna. You don't deploy the military in a country without the authority of the commander-in-chief. That means he approved the deployment of the military. The police, anti-riot policemen are in Southern Kaduna. The police is a federal institution. It still boils down to the president. And then don't forget that he directed that 2 military formations be built in Southern Kaduna going forward so that they can serve as buffer between the people. The president has done a lot on Southern Kaduna.
So are you saying that his president has been speaking extensively on this issue?
He does not need to speak extensively. That's
why.
He needs to act extensively. And that is what he has done. That's the mistake Nigerians make. he does not need to speak extensively. When he begins to speak extensively, people will even begin to abuse him. Now, so talk, now so talk, now talk, we go talk. He needs to act, and he has acted. That is what matters.
Let's look at the issue of the bombing in the IDP camp. Many did raise that, well, if the president did even visit the southern Kaduna, why not going to Borno State to see those internally
The very
displaced?
next day that happened, he sent a high-powered delegation made up of his chief of staff, all the service chiefs, ministers of defense and information. They flew into that.
Are you saying there's something wrong in Mr. President visiting that place?
I'm not saying there is anything wrong with it. I'm also saying that there is nothing wrong if it does not go. Nothing, absolutely nothing wrong. He sent a delegation there. Immediately that event happens, I issued that message on his behalf, because he said, oh, this is a very sorry thing. Can you condole with the victims and with Nigerians generally? We released that statement. The very next day, he sent in a delegation. I said it earlier that there is a tiny minority, very vocal, that wants to lead the president by the nose. That whatever they say is what he must do, and he must do it when they want it. It doesn't work.
Now, how will you assess the war against insurgency by your administration?
It's evident. The results are evident. When this administration came, Boko Haram was in Northeast, it was in Northwest, it was in North Central, it was in Abuja, the federal capital. Boko Haram was in Kogi, it was in Lokoja. From there, it was going to cross into Southwest. But this administration came.
Just a moment, Mr. Adesina. Let's quickly join Victor. Victor is calling us from Akwa Ibom. Good morning. Let's have your contributions, please.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I what I want to say is, I would like to know about the condition. It's surprising that the house is on fire and a president is on holidays, because that's what we hear, that the president is on holidays in the UK or in London. But Nigeria is. I don't know what to say. There is absolutely no hope for the poor masses. There is poverty, there is hunger, there is sickness in the land, and our president is on holidays. What are we doing? Okay, that's what I want to say.
I must say thank you very much, Victor from Akwa Ibom. Well, you heard him clearly.
Yes, Victor has a right to his holiday. If he wants to take it now, he should enjoy it. That's what.
Is that what you say?
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Now going back to the analysis
can take it anytime.
You were making, assessing the war against insurgency.
Yes, and then this administration came. It began to beat Boko Haram backwards, send them out of Northwest, send them out of North Central, send them out of Abuja, and at a point, send them out of Yobe, of Adamawa, and they became localized into Sambisa Forest. And you know what happened last December? Camp Zero, which was the last stronghold in Sambisa Forest, also fell. I'll tell you, where we are now cannot be compared to where we were in May 2015. It's the people of Yobe, Adamawa, and Borno who can tell that a lot of difference has come into their lives. How many roads have been reopened? How many emirs who fled their palaces have returned? Gombe never had NYSC orientation in the past 2-3 years. NYSC orientation held there last year. So you can't compare where we were with where we are now. There are still pockets of suicide bombings here and there, attacks here and there. They are the final kicks of a dying horse. Boko Haram will become history. We will not hear of it again in this country because already it has been defeated. What is happening is a mop-up, and that mop-up will become...
That's something very, very sacrosanct, I understand, that we need to look at the spate of kidnapping in the southwest Nigeria. What is your administration doing?
It's not just in the southwest.
We see it all around, but it's coming down to the southwest now.
It's a function of intelligence. Intelligence by the security agencies and ability to act fast. I'm sure they are building on that. The IG, don't forget, was in London last week. The Force Headquarters explained that he was there for a conference on counter-terrorism. So all those things are very important for our security agencies. Their capacities need to be built, and they need to be equipped to confront.
Mr. Addition, let me please join Ekene. Ekene is calling us from Ghana. Good morning, Ekene. Let's have your contribution.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Please, I want to ask your guest a question, because I like the question discussing today is very interesting. I want to ask him, why is it that federal government is more care about the herdsmen that they say is from Mali and Somalia more than the citizens of Nigeria? Because since the herdsmen start massacring people in the forms of because Boko Haram has transformed from Boko Haram to herdsmen, government have never come out and condemn it. Rather, if anybody talk against herdsmen, government will send their agency against the person. Why? Why is it the life of herdsmen more important than the life of citizens of Nigeria? Look at the way the federal government is massacring IPOB members.
Well, I must say thank you very much, Ekene. You've made your points. He's talking about the issue of herdsmen.
Federal government has never come out to condemn it. Well, he lives in Ghana. Maybe he doesn't follow Nigerian news from Ghana. The vice president told the country that more than 800 herdsmen were in detention at the time. Yet, he says federal government does not condemn it. But how many actions have been taken against those herdsmen? The president, in my presence, gave directives to security agencies to deal with the herdsmen issue. So, and he says federal government is not talking about it. Maybe from Ghana, he needs to be more alert to news from Nigeria.
Okay, on a quick one before I let you go on the program this morning, there's been this rumor about trying to force the vice president out of office. What do you have to say to that?
I'm glad you used the word.
I know you will say that.
I'm glad you used the word rumor. I know it's rumor, and then it needs no response.
Okay, now where do you see yourself after all these political appointments?
Okay, well, one, I'd like to say the future belongs to God. Nobody can presume about tomorrow, because tomorrow is in the hands of God. But God being kind and sparing our lives, and this assignment ends, I want to see myself back in the media. The media I worked with before I left gave me a leave of absence. So when this is all over.
So are you saying there is no iota of propaganda in your own acting capacity as the special advisor to the president on media and publicity?
So I don't do propaganda.
Are you sure?
Look at my style. Each person has his style. If you have followed my style, you will know that I don't do propaganda. My duty is image management for the president. I manage that image without propaganda. Propaganda has a tinge of falsehood to it. Anything that has affinity to falsehood, you will not hear from.
Well, I must say thank you very much, Mr. Femi Addition, for coming on the show this morning. Okay, now let's receive this presidential handshake. Well, that's it on the show this morning. The first segment of Call Digest this morning, like I did say, it's a special edition. I must say thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope next time we call on you, you oblige us.
It will be my pleasure.
Well, we're going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at public office holders and medical tourism, and have our special guest very much in the house to join us on the show this morning. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
Hello and welcome to Core TV Primetime News Broadcast.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV. Leave a space, then news. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.